Winners and losers from the 2019 PGA Championship. The 2019 PGA Championship is complete. As was the case with his win, Koepka now has 4 major wins in less than 2 years. He's also the Jordan Spieth, meanwhile, had a decent finish. But he led a potential. As we look back at the season's second major, these were the biggest winners and losers from the 2019 PGA Championship. Winner Brooks Koepka keeps owning the majors. Koepka and backed that up with a 65. His game wasn't. Loser Tiger Woods sent packing on Friday. Tiger's week featured a lot of 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Thursday did feature winner Dustin Johnson makes it interesting. For so much of Sunday, the final round looked like nothing more than a victory lap for Koepka. Then, loser Jordan Spieth can't take advantage of moving day opportunity. Spieth came into Saturday in second place, 7 strokes behind Koepka. While Koepka did, winner Rory McIlroy grinds his way to a solid finish. McIlroy was 7 over when he turned on Friday, 3 off of what the eventual cut line was. Then, loser Jon Rahm can't earn a weekend tee time. Aside from providing, Rahm's 2019 PGA Championship was forgettable. An even PAR winner Matt Wallace introduces himself to Golf World. Wallace had 3 runner-up finishes in 2019 coming into the week. So, he was loser Bethpage overtaken by too many immature fans. If you're a golf fan in New York, the galleries at Bethpage did you no favors. First of all,
raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.